Good morning, good morning, good morning. As soon as somebody gets in here, please let me know if I'm broadcasting all right. Everybody can hear me. What's popping? I know it's been a minute, but there's the coffee. There's the coffee, y'all. See if anybody catches up on the live stream this morning. Let's get the market screen up right here. Let's see, there we go. That's what you guys need to see right there. MNQ. Get ready to open the bell here soon. Got about a minute, 52 seconds left on the market open before the bell rings. I did take two quick trades this morning. I was up 31. Then I tried to get ahead of the market a little bit, and I took a trade, gave that back. I'm down $12.10 right now on the market. No big deal there. Yeah, Thomas, this was for you, brother. I was thinking about you this morning. And so, I was thinking about you, and I was like, you know what? All right. Because I've been thinking about this channel a lot, like a lot. And, there's decisions that's got to be made. So good morning, traveler. How you doing? Welcome back, man. You're always, whenever I go live, man, you show up, you and Thomas. I appreciate y'all. Like you would not believe I appreciate y'all. So let's see, the market just opened. We're going to let this first 5-minute candle take shape. We're going to stick with the first candle rule, 5-minute candle, and see what happens. This was, that took that out already. We can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. It's already out. Line in the sand is going to be way down here at 420, 420. So we're just going to let this market play out and see what it does on this first 5 minutes. I got some things. I guess to talk about. You guys can help me make some decisions. Thomas says he's out there doing curry. See, now I tried to sign up for curry like 2 years ago, man, when they were first sitting down here in South Florida. I tried to sign up for curry. Matter of fact, I still had the caddy then, and curry never got back to me. Never a response. And that's something else that we need to talk about. I'd like to talk about. I don't know how true it would be, but I'd like to talk about it. Curry never got back to me, bro. They never got back to me. They was like, nah, we're good. We don't need you. Okay, you don't need me. Well, then fuck off. Hope your company dies. That's all. That's how I feel about it. People are funny, man. People are really, really funny. All right, let's get that one going. That looks like the opening top range of that 5-minute candle. Let's get the bottom range set in so far. It's probably going to come down lower than that. This blue dotted line, in case you here, let's get rid of that for a second. This blue dotted line is yesterday's close, previous end of day. So, a lot of times you'll see the market overnight. You can see overnight here, it'll fluctuate. Sometimes it'll jump way above or below and then try to find itself back. I'm a little perplexed here because we got great unemployment news. Unemployment news was good. Unemployment claims were down. So it's interesting how the market is selling off the news, right? All those that had already been way up here. Let's go to a 30-minute chart real quick. Right? So you can see we've been bouncing a lot. Like really bouncing a lot. But this 420 is definitely, you see this here? It's definitely support. If we come down here and break below it, we're going for the ride, 2,500. If we get here and we bounce, then, we can expect to get back up here around the 2,650 area. But that's a lot of what ifs. We got to take what the market gives us and try to make some change with it. Remember, this is not financial advice, so don't even try it. Don't even trip on me. I do not know what the hell I'm doing. I have no clue. I am a complete and utter idiot. So just remember that. Don't do what I do. But I will tell you, if you're not investing, you need to buy more Tesla. That's friendly advice. That's not financial advice. DCA, $25 every 2 weeks into Tesla. Go to Webull, download the app, and get your fractional shares and build that up, because Tesla's going. I'm telling you, it might not be this year, might not be next year, but by 2028, 2030, it's going to be worth a shit ton. If people thought Nvidia went through the roof, they are severely underestimating Tesla. Severely. Now, there's a lot of people out there who tell you Tesla ain't shit, this, that, and the other. It's worthless. And if you're watching me, you ain't rich. So all I can tell you is, trust me, sometimes you just got to buy something and put it away and don't worry about it. And just don't worry about it. In 10 years, they might be worth some real money. It might not be worth nothing in 3 months or a year, but in 10 years, it might be worth some real good money. Man, the market's selling off a little bit here this morning, huh? This is a 5-minute chart. Look at that. Hey, we're coming down a little bit. What was yesterday's low? So yesterday's low was down here at the 25,420. Remember I said that's the line in the sand. If we're going to come all the way back, let's see what happens. As soon as we get this first 5-minute candle, we're going to, all right, so we broke through the overnight low. We can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. You can see now we've got a bearish order block here. This means this is where the market makers, the big boys, have started selling off. Sell side liquidity is down here. This is where they started buying up. So let's see what happens here. All right, first 5-minute candle is in. Let's mark that off and see what happens. Let's go to the 1-minute chart. Biggest problem I'm having with trading is not holding my winners. And it's such a mind game with holding the winners. Like my win rate has got to be up around 60-70%. Right? But I just don't hold them enough, because once I get in a couple of points above wherever I bought, once I get a couple 2-3 points above it, I'll go ahead and move to stop, break even, or a point or two above that. So if it runs, but I don't give back. And then I make the mistake of, when I'm like, all right, dumb shit, you're seeing the market, you're doing good, and then all of a sudden, I'll let it run, and then I'm down 300-400. It's such I love it. I love this shit. All right, let's see what's going on there. I do Curry up in Central New York. See, that's Traveler. That's just it. I signed up for Curry, right? Now, I could have asked for help from a couple of people. Well, I did ask for help from one person, but they didn't come through. And the other person, who I know he helped somebody else, I wasn't going to do that. I mean, here's the thing, man. When it comes to stuff like that, especially in the gig space, in the YouTube space, I don't want to be beholden to anybody. Whether they want something from me or not, I don't want to be beholden to them. I mean, I've seen Buddha out in Cali make damn good money with Curry. I mean, damn good money. A couple $100 a day, couple $300-400 a day in the Model Y, with some paint buckets. The Model Y can handle it. You get 5-gallon cans in there, 6-gallon cans in there, and you go on about your money, make your money. One trip paying $200-300 for 100 miles is still better than doing 10 X rides or comfort rides where you're doing 150 miles. I think people don't understand math. Simple 1 + 1 still equals 2. I don't care what the left says. You know what I mean? I don't care what the left says. 1 + 1 equals 2. Like, I'm just saying. Connie, what's going on, brother? Good morning, Vinny. Hope things are good, my friend. They're trying. They're trying, bro. I can't lie, man. I had a great month on Amazon last month. Granted, it's November. And, shout out to my boy, Richie Hustles, because he's been helping me tremendously with the Amazon program. But I had a record month for Amazon for me, right? Not for most players out there, because most players out there are, they're a few $1,000s up every month. But for me, I had a record month. I still haven't broke 4 figures, but it's a good month. And I'm learning. Even at my age, you can still learn new shit. Right now, the market's just kind of steadying in here a little bit. So, other than that, I did get 2 more YouTube channels off the ground. So we got 4 YouTube channels now. But I discovered something. I discovered something, and you know, when I can, I got to reach out to my boy again, Richie Hustles, because he's in the YouTube space. You know what I'm saying? And he's had so much success with YouTube. He's like, you know, he started from the bottom, just like the rest of us, and he really hit it big. And then some things happened, unbeknownst to him, wasn't his issue, but some things happened and they went kind of south on him. But he built other stuff out of it. So I kind of lean on him, you know, a little bit for YouTube growth. I mean, listen, he's got 2 channels over 100K, right? I'm sitting at this channel sitting at 4650. I lost 2 subscribers over the last week, but I haven't been posting. I haven't been putting nothing up. So that's on me. And that brings me all the way back to when Connie says, hope things are going well. So now we got 4 YouTube channels going. We got the Amazon channel going, right? Obviously, I have, by focusing on that stuff and becoming and learning a lot more about, you know, video making, content. I hate the word content creation. That shit's so cliche. It's not even funny. I hear, I'm a content creator. Everybody's a content creator. You pick up the damn phone and you're like, yo, Vinny Kuzz sucks. Don't watch his channel. Don't tell him I told you. That's content creation. You put that shit up on Instagram or Twitter, or if you're still on Facebook, whatever. I don't like that. Learning how to make videos, learning how to tell a story. That's what I'm working on. And I haven't been, even though I'm trading every morning, I got to be honest, y'all. I ain't been focused on this shit at all. It's wild. You're trying to do so many different things, and so I tell you what I did. But yes, Con, everything's going okay, brother. I hope things are good with you. Let's see, catch up with some comments. Buddha, be banking for, listen, Thomas, you know, and I don't understand the guy. There's got to be some stuff going on with Buddha that we don't know about. That's all I can say. Because Buddha makes some damn good money. He shows the receipts, whether it's, you know, driving rideshare, whether it's curry deliveries or whatever. And, you know, and then I hear and talk to him and he's like, man, I can't save money. Yes, you can. Get you a goddamn coffee can and shove that shit in the coffee can. That's it. You ain't got to put it in the bank. If you got cash, put it in the coffee can. That's all. Meanwhile, where are we at? 941. We're still in this 5-minute opening range, but look at this, 560, 660. So what's that? 60, 13. What's that? 70. My math ain't math. 150-point range. Low 5-minute candle to opening range. We're 150-point range today. That's volatility, folks. That's volatility. So yeah, Buddha, I mean, you can make some good money, but you know, that shit's going away, bro. That good money's getting ready to go bye-bye. Us here in South Florida, we gotta contend with you know, the Model Ys are coming off premiere January 15th. We also got to contend with the Black app is taking premiere away from our market. And they just say in 2026. They didn't say when in 2026. So is it going to be J1? Is J1 going to be the end of premiere in South Florida? They say Miami-Dade County, but you know, Miami region includes Fort Lauderdale, Broward, Boca, and West Palm Beach County, even parts of St. Lucie County, Jupiter, and that shit. So who the hell knows? They're so ambiguous with what they say they're going to do and not going to do. You know, so like me, this is the time of season where I run on Premiere. 90% of my rides right now are Premiere rides. Now, I'm not out there killing it, you know, $700-800 a week, 25, 30 hours a week, whatever. Okay. But I'm watching my mileage, maybe a little more time, a little less mileage, you know, because we own the Tessie now and everything. So, but still, 90% of my work in November were Premiere rides. And now Uber, the Black app, is just going to randomly take that away from me. And then if you drive an EV, they just took the EV bonus. Finally, they took that away. They said a few months ago that was going to go away, and they left it on for another few months, and now that's gone, right? Because that goes into new year 2026. I tell you, man. I tell you. Who else? Oh, Richie Hustles. Yo, what's up, man? Greetings, Richie Hustles. I was just talking about Richie Hustles. Hope everything is good with him. Thomas says, yeah, I had $100 Curry ride for 80 miles. I like that. Bro, that's better than an X ride, right? Because X rides are paying 35, 45 cents a mile. That's a whole nother ball game. So, yeah. Connie, I'm 67 and still learning. Hell yeah. That's what we do, brother. We keep it moving. Keep it moving. I saw a thing the other day that says Gen X. We're all Gen X, right? Gen X is they're in their mid to late 50s now. Still look like they're in their 30s to 40s and still got the mind of a teenager. That's me, bro. That's me. Oh, by the way, shout out to my boy Kyle. Kyle, I still wear your shirt, man. Just gig with it. Kyle out of Cali. All right, what's going on with these? What's going on? The market ain't doing shit right now. We're just sitting here watching. We're looking for the opening range breakout. Where we at? 444. So we can move this now to the 15-minute range. Waiting to see if this thing's going to do anything. It might not do shit. It might just range. Right? Might just range today. We don't know. Volume, skittish. Traveler says, I just did a $270, 140-mile trip. Bro, that's damn near Premier rates. You know what I'm saying? Like Premier, for the most part, will pay you about, $2 a mile, $1 a minute. But, well, you know what? Let me rephrase. Traveler, that's not Premier rates. That was Lyft Lux rates. Nobody ever talks about the Pink app, how the Pink app, and I swear, man, I said this then, and I'm going to keep saying it now. When Lyft hired David Risher, they absolutely screwed up the entire rideshare game for drivers. That guy is such a piece of work. Remember when Lyft took away Lux, regular standard Lux for drivers, everything went downhill from there. Everything. Prior to that, they play with the percentage a little bit. And I know, a lot of people like to say, well, when they went public is when they really started hammering us. But you really saw it after Lyft took away Lux. When they took away Lux and introduced that fucking extra comfort bullshit, they absolutely killed driver earnings. Even on Lyft Lux Black, my buddy Omar sent me a ride yesterday. We've got Art Bosel's down in Miami right now. Art Bosel's going on down in Miami, and these guys are going down there trying to drive a little bit. I know Omar's down there. And he sent me a screenshot for a Lyft Black XL SUV, Lyft Black SUV. When I had the Caddy, and I had Lyft Black SUV with the Caddy, right? Lyft Black SUV. Lyft Black SUV used to pay about $5 a mile and about $1 and change a minute. Oh my God. I was telling the guys yesterday on the radio, my best ride ever was Lyft Black SUV. It was about a 35-minute, 20-mile ride, paid $175, and the dude he tipped out another $50 on top of it. And he loved the ride. Him and his girlfriend, they loved the ride. We had the Amazon music going in the truck, and they wanted to listen. I remember it. There was Van Halen, AC/DC, old rocker hits coming out of a concert. And we just had it was $225 ride for 35 minutes. Beautiful. Now, that ride that he posted up yesterday came in, it was 37 minutes. It was like 8 minutes to pick up, 37 minutes to drop off. So basically 50-minute ride. I don't know. I forget the mileage. But it was a 50-minute ride. Was only paying $47. 50-minute ride. Not even $1 a mile. I mean, a minute on black SUV. So when people sit there and they talk about, when was the collapse of rideshare? And I know, again, I'm not saying that when they went public didn't hurt us, didn't hurt drivers. It absolutely hurt drivers. We got smoked. But when Risher came on board with Lyft, and he said prime time should not exist. He's such a liar. He's such a liar. Because if prime time shouldn't exist, right? If his goal was to eliminate prime time and surge, which he did on our end, right? Which he did. They went from like what used to pay like $10 prime time or surge. Prime time's a little old for some of you guys. You wouldn't know what prime time was. But the bonus would be $10, is now $1. But the bastards, the sorry scumbag Lyft company that they are, they're still charging the rider surge pricing. They're still charging the rider surge pricing. But they're saying, oh, we don't believe in prime time. We don't believe in surge. We don't believe in bump. I'm telling you, I told everybody up front when that guy came on that I didn't like him. And you know what? I haven't done a Lyft ride in probably, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months, because March 31st of this year, 2025, they stopped onboarding the Model Ys on the Lyft Black. Now, I didn't buy my Tesla until June. I was still in the drive with Tesla Model Y, and I was good to go. When I onboarded, when I got out of the lease with Drive Whip and got into my own Tesla, which best thing I ever did. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. I really didn't. I did not know if I was going to be. I had to take a big ass leap of faith because, I'm still recovering from a lot of shit. Gave up a lot after being sick. But I couldn't onboard as a Lyft Black anymore with my Tesla. And I've got a buddy of mine out here drives the exact same car, and he's still on Lyft Black. So it's a little disheartening. And what happened with Lyft now all I've got is basic tiers. And Doug, let me tell you, they went to this percentage thing. This is how stupid drivers are. They went to the percentage thing, and it was another haircut. It was a haircut, like Sergio likes to say. It was a haircut. You got another they cut your rate again. Because now, think about this. If you get a $1 boost, and the trip regular cost is $5 or $4 ride on Lyft, and you got a $1 boost, that's $5 for that ride. But now you get that $4 ride on 10%. Now you only get paid $4.40 because it's a percentage. But drivers, they suck that shit up, man. I'm telling you, own worst enemies, man. And I know drivers don't like to hear that, but you know what? It's the gospel, bro. It's the absolute truth. People don't get it, man. People just don't get it. Oh, let's see. I've noticed that fares go up at night after 9 p.m. Well, here's a little secret for you, Thomas. Here's a little secret for you. If you work an area, whatever area that is, but if you're out there working an area, and say you have access to Comfort, you have access to, let's say, X, Comfort, XL, and or Premier. I'm just, follow me here. If you have access to that. If you go into that area and all of a sudden you're getting 10-minute away requests, exclusive ride requests, not trip radars. It's coming to you exclusive. And it's 10 minutes away. What does that tell you? It tells you there's no cars in the area. So don't take that ride and chop off your lowest tier. If you have only X and Comfort, turn off X. If that ride comes back to your Comfort, it's going to pay a couple dollars more. That's all. How do you maximize your earnings? You got to play their game. We're not obligated to go 10, 15 minutes away to pick up a ride. So if I know I'm consistently getting these requests 10, 15 minutes away, that means there's nobody in the area, or there's no cars in the area, or there's no cars willing to take the cheap ride in the area. So then I don't turn on X anyway, but I keep on Comfort and Premier. And I'll turn on Premier and I'll wait. And I'll wait. And is it a little more time? Of course, but I'm parked somewhere. The other thing too is you turn off X, turn on Comfort only, and then start driving towards where that ping came from. If it's 10 minutes away, it's going to be 2, 3, 4 miles away. So, okay. You burn up a little energy, you burn up a little gas. Hopefully you get a better ride, and the odds favor you, not against you. So that's that's something that I do. It's been working for me. But come January, at worst, I lose Premier J1. At best, I lose Premier January 15th. The hopeful thing is that the Black app doesn't have enough vehicles signed up to do the insurance scam part 2. Y'all know what the insurance scam part 2 is, right? Y'all know what the insurance scam part 2 is? The Black app insurance scam now is, hey, get your own insurance, and we're going to give you a bonus. It's not a supplement. It's not a stipend, but it's going to be a bonus. And I'll tell you why I call it a bonus. But it's going to be a bonus for every mile you have somebody in the car with your own commercial insurance, which means commercial insurance, if it were that easy, everybody would do it because they would make a lot more money, right? But in order to get commercial insurance, you got to have the LLC. In order to get the LLC, you got to be able to qualify through whatever county or city ordinances and or regulations they have, plus the state. Whatever drug tests are required. You understand all that has to happen for you to be able to make, if you're in the South Florida market, 26 cents extra a mile. Do you know how many miles you got to drive with somebody in the car to cover commercial insurance in South Florida per month? Roughly $800 a month. Roughly, and that's on the low end. Roughly $800 a month. So do the math. At 20 cents, 26 cents, let's say 30 cents to cover an $800 a month nut. How many miles is that? 30 cents? What's that, like 2,400 miles a month? Am I wrong? Is my math wrong? Let me see. My math could be wrong. I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the world. Calculator. No, that's calendar. See, I told you I wasn't the smartest motherfucker in the world. 800 divided by 0.30 cents. 2,600 miles a month you're going to have to drive with somebody in the car. In the car. Just to pay for your commercial insurance. You see that number? That's real shit. We don't live in LA, bro. Because in LA, if you're in the city of Los Angeles, you get $1. So now you only got to do what? 800 miles in a month. You're good. If you're outside of LA, I think it's 48 cents a mile. So roughly, you got to do 1,600. See, you understand what I'm saying here? This is the new insurance scam because they want to get the commercial insurance and liability off of them. Okay, that's fine. But they're not doing anything to help you. So, and this is what I mean by it's an insurance scam. I don't even know if people are still here with me, but here's the deal with that. The guys in LA that are on the insurance, they're still getting their stipend. They're getting their bonus. That's what it shows up as a bonus. We might break structure here. A little structure break here, right here. See what happens, 957. Okay. Let's see. We'll set up. But we got to see this. We got to see this break. We got to see this break. We'll bring this down to a 2-1. See what happens here. See how this plays out. See, we got to wait. Those guys in LA, California, that went and got the private insurance, and you guys can reach out to Steven, Tech and Effects. Ask him yourself. They've been lowering the base fares. So while they're still paying the bonus, the base fare has been reduced drastically. And I had said to Steven, when this shit first came up out there, I said, how long will it be before they start playing with the money again? And sure enough, it wasn't even 6 months. Not even 6 months, and they're already playing with the base fares again. So for a lot of guys, all right, we're going to set this up. We'll see what happens here. It's 2-1. Set up a limit order here. You know what? We're only going to trade one micro. I don't like the action. So what we're going to look for here, guys, I know I'm all over the place. We're going to look for this. We're going to see a green bar try to wick into this fair value gap and reject. But it's got to do it quick. If it doesn't do it quick, then we don't take the trade. So let's see what happens. We'll put the trigger. The finger is on the trigger. We'll see what happens. Those guys out in LA, man, they're already starting to see the negativity out of it. Not even 6 months, dude. Not even 6 months. And they're already screwing those drivers over. So what's going to happen here in Southeast Florida? Is it just Dade County, or is it Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County that's going to lose Premier? That's going to have Uber Black. And how many of those drivers that do find their way on the Uber Black are going to maintain their insurance? They're going to keep that insurance, because we know that it takes the right gig apps 2 or 3 months later to catch up with people that got suspended licenses, bad tickets, or whatever. You know this. I know this. We've heard it. All right, so it's trying to wick in here. Is it going to go? It's trying to build back up off this this opening range. See, it didn't snap through and reject. So are we going to get a fair value gap inversion back up to here, or at least to the VWAP, or is it going to take here and go? And this is trading. I don't like that we got 3 candles there, but I don't know. They're trying to sell it down. See, I don't know about this trade. But now what would happen is we'll bring this to here. That would be the highest we would go there. Now our stop loss goes there. So now we'll put the sell order in. I probably missed it already, but let's see what happens. But if it breaks above this wick, actually, this is not where I should be doing this. Let me cancel this order real quick. Yeah, cancel that. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, we got to wait to see if we close it. The candle closes below this. Take that there. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So let's see what happens here. If we can get that candle to close below this wick here, and we take the trade. Still got 38 seconds on that candle. Let's see what happens. What were we talking about? Insurance. So we know that it takes forever for drivers and the apps to catch up. Meanwhile, those 2-3 months, while that driver's out there operating without the insurance, without a good license, without any of that, Uber's making all that money. You know, hell, we can go deeper than that. Here's the real question, and I am going to make a video. I keep saying I'm going to make a video for this channel. I'm going to start posting again on Monday for this channel. I might do something tomorrow and get it posted for the weekend. I got to start posting back to this channel. Would the apps, here's the question for you guys. Would the apps still have as high a profitability range that they have now if they got rid of all the illegal drivers, illegal accounts. I didn't say illegal people, illegal drivers, illegal accounts. Let me clarify what I'm saying. You can be an American citizen and still be an illegal driver on these apps because their check system is terrible. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If it weren't for, here's another caveat for you. Here's another caveat for you with this. And I'm not getting political, but these are the facts. The last administration opened up that border, 20 million people came across. When did Uber and Lyft start taking off? When did they take off through the roof? 22. So you got the last administration, 2020, 2024. Uber's goes through the roof. Our rates get slammed down, supply demand. All of these drivers, these illegal accounts on Facebook Marketplace, on WhatsApp, on Craigslist, all of this bullshit that they know is happening. They know it's happening. They're allowing it to happen. And what's that old cliche? It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. They have all of these illegal drivers. Not illegal people, not aliens, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They got all these illegal drivers. When those drivers are eliminated from the platform, you and I see our ride prices go up. You see more surge. You see more, even with Risher's stingy ass, no primetime bullshit. Prices go up. We benefit. Legal people. It's always the guy or lady that does it the right way that gets mud stomped. What's that cliche? This is dead. See, that's why we didn't take the trade. What's that cliche? Good guys always finish last, bro. It's the way it is. Got a little trend forming here. A little trend line forming there. That's not right. Let's go right here. See what happens. I got a little trend line forming there. Let's see what happens. Gonna get a little flag here this morning. We are at 10:05, so now I need to go over here. Give me 1 second. I know you guys can't see it, but you guys know I got this over here too. I just want to see what this looks like on the 5-minute chart real quick. All right, we're good there. Once those accounts are once it's nothing but legal drivers on the platforms, that's when drivers will absolutely see a better rate, better take-home pay. But until that happens, and this is what's pissing me off with the current administration. Because the current administration took $2 million from the Black app. They took $1 million from their CEO, and they took $1 million from the app directly to go to the inauguration fund. So now Donald J. Trump, who I love his policies, but he ain't no different. He ain't no different. At least for us in the gig economy. He took money from them. He took our money because the CEO in the Black app couldn't have given him that money if we weren't out here driving for half of what we used to drive for in 2019 and 2020. That's a fact. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that shit. So when people ask, Vinny, why haven't you been posting videos on this channel? That's why. Because it's toxic. Not the channel, not y'all, but when we talk about how we make our money in rideshare, it's fucking toxic. I was riding with a guy yesterday. Nice little Premier ride, beautiful ride. It was like $28. I had a $19 surge. So for that respects, I tip my hat to the Black app because they are definitely letting the surge. See, it's not all bad. I'm not all bad on the app. When they let it surge and I have opportunities to continue to make my money on Premier, then I'm good. When I can make my good money, my good rides out of the airport on Comfort, I'm okay with that. Right? And I always give credit where credit's due. But those rides are so far and few between. As an example, we ain't even talked about Black Friday. We got time for this. Y'all want to talk about Black Friday too? Because Black Friday was a tragedy for me. Now I know some guys out, some drivers out there, 12, 16 hours a day, making $300-400 a day. For 16 hours, you're only making $300 a day. Do the math on that. For me, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, is supposed to be the busiest travel day of the year. Wasn't shit. Thursday, Thanksgiving, after, say, 2 o'clock. Usually for me, going back looking in the past, $200-300 by midnight. From like 2 to midnight, $200-300. Didn't break 100. Friday, Black Friday. Well, this is the first Black Friday I didn't have the caddy. But from what I was talking with all of these people across my area and across the country, they didn't do shit either. You know why? Because Black Friday isn't about retail stores anymore. I did a whole video about that. I did a whole video about Black Friday on the Tesla Rideshare channel. And you can go, if you want, you can go see that. Maybe I'll link it up. But I just put out a video a couple of days ago, and I was talking with Grok about what the numbers were for Black Friday. And there were some very revealing numbers in there. Number one, Black Friday, 9.1% increase over last year's Black Friday. 9.1% in money. Think about that. Cyber Monday, 14% better year over year. But that's not the key, right? That just tells you that people are still spending money and taking advantage of sales. That's just in the US. That's not global. Globally, it was like $1 trillion Black Friday deal, right? Whatever. The big difference is the increase in online sales versus brick and mortars, versus Walmart, versus Target. According to Grok, pulling from the Adobe tracking. Yeah, that Adobe, they do tracking. I didn't know that either. Learned some shit with Grok, let me tell you. It was pedestrian at best for Walmart and Target. So if you drove an SUV or you drove a minivan or whatever, right? We used to make our money going to the Brands Marts, the Best Buys, the Walmarts, the Targets, where they had the sales on the big TVs. Because the people who bought them owned little Hondas or Toyotas, or they didn't have a vehicle to move the TV from point A to point B. So they would call Uber XLs, Uber SUV to go and move the TV. That didn't happen this year. And the numbers prove out. So it's an amazing thing. All right, we're still at the bottom of the range here. We should be on the 5-minute chart now. Let's see what the 5-minute chart is showing us. 5-minute chart ain't showing us shit either. So now what I'm going to look for is this is the fair value gap, but I guess I could have took a trade way up here if I was on 5 minutes to start, because that's part of the opening range, but I usually wait to the 30-minute. Might not take another trade today, y'all. Might be down $12 today on this trade. You can see, just so I can show you guys. See down here, I'm minus $12 today. I'm looking for a trade, but I'm just, it's too tight. Anyway, so Black Friday wasn't shit. Saturday and Sunday was about average, couple $100 on Saturday, about 150 on Sunday, right? So $350 for the weekend, but it was a holiday weekend. Again, a couple of rides out of the airport to get my day started on Comfort. And but that was the other thing too. Over the last 2 weeks, at the weekends at the airport lot was empty. Now all of a sudden the airport lot is full again. So are you telling me all those illegal accounts are back? Are all the illegal accounts driving again? You see how this shit spider webs out? Like if you really pay attention to what's going on, it'll lead you down this paradoxical black hole. Let's switch back to here for a minute. Looks like it's trying to break out here. Here is a slight trade here. And you see, this is what I was looking for before, this break. So now let's see where this one ends. Take that to there. Let's bring this down here. Take a 3-to-1. 10 seconds. As long as this doesn't close above this wick. We want this candle to close below this candle. See, it's just not doing it. It's not allowing me to get into a decent trade. But we're going to wait here. We're going to see what happens. Because it shouldn't. If we get a wick above this little wick, then this trade will be dead. Yep, there it is. It's dead. Even though it really hasn't closed the fair value gap yet. Nah, this is a dead trade. Yep, dead trade. Wait for the next setup. Now, Sunday, which was the beast. Sunday was the beast, at least at the airport. Thomas says Thanksgiving was great until 5 p.m. and then it went to crap. People done eating. They all went home and went to sleep. All that turkey. Sunday, I had never seen Fort Lauderdale Airport that busy. It took every bit of 35, 40 minutes just to get into the terminal to pick people up. Just to pick them up. And then it was another, depending on which terminal you picked up, 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, take you anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to get out of there. See, it still wants to come down and break this. Just an amazing amount of people returning. I always thought Sunday after Thanksgiving was the busiest travel day because everybody's jumping in at the same time. But I could only make $150 on Sunday on 3 rides because it was surging. They capped out our airport at $18, although there was $30 surges way up north out on the streets. You can't depend on that. And you know how that is. By the time you get there, they pull the rug on you. Don't get the surge. So at the airport is $18 surges. But who's gonna take a $15 ride out of the airport or a $25 ride out of the airport when it's going to take you 30, 40 minutes just to pick them up? Like, that's crazy. So then by them capping the surge at $18, I went Premier only. And yeah, they tried some of that bullshit too with the Premier rides all of a sudden. It's like their algo, when the surge kicks in, their algo plays the game. And that's not good for you and me as drivers. It's just not good. Which is why we're doing this. Which is why I've been learning. You know, it's 1 year now. It's officially 1 year that I've been learning the futures market. And I haven't made a nickel yet. I'm into the education in the prop firm space. They call evaluations. And I passed evaluations, and then I've blown those sim funded accounts where you do make money. You are trading for money. They call this tuition. So if I were going to college, $25,000, $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year tuition, or I could do what I'm doing. I work the rideshare stuff. I work Amazon stuff. I'm beating my head up over YouTube stuff, making my little bit of my little pennies, and only got $1,000 into my tuition learning to trade futures. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I have not been able to put any cash together to get back into the options market. Because in the options market, you got to have $1,000 to get started. And that's only if you're trading, whether you're trading zero dates, because you got to start so small and risk so little, on a live options account. because you could trade a Tesla option that's $1,000 just to buy the option, and you could lose it just that quick. Options is depends on if you're doing month out options, 3 month out options. If you're trading oil like Gush and Drip, Tesla, SPY, what have you, but I haven't been able to put that cash together. I tell all my people, I'm very transparent about this. I'm nowhere near back. It's been 2 years now, 2.5 years since I had my heart attack. It's been a mental game. It's been a physical game, but it's been a mental game. And just now, not when you ever heard the expression, I'm underwater, I'm underwater, I'm underwater. Well, I'm no longer breathing with the snorkel, like this much above my lip, that much is above water. That's it. I still got a long way to go, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Apex milestone. What does Apex got going on? Apex. I don't trade Apex. 84.40 all in, all sizes. Apex is now paid out over 600 million. All about 6 sale starts now. 6 eval sizes, all priced at 196 and 60% off. Yeah, we don't trade Apex. I don't like their back office. Sorry, guys. Let me go through this because I got another email coming from my complex here. Hello, thank you for your message. Due to company regulations, we are required to ensure that every unit receives monthly pest control service. If you are using a private external, we kindly ask that you provide us with such a record. Today's pest control service is not scheduled for your building. Your building is likely serviced next week. See, I got into a big pissing contest with my apartment complex about pest control because they came in last month. I was in the bathroom. And I heard somebody knocking at the door. I kind of screamed out. I was the only one home. I kind of screamed out, hold on. By the time I got off the toilet and coming down the hall, they already had my door open. Now, if you know me, it's probably not a good idea to do that. And so I kind of got upset, told them, get the fuck out. Don't come through my door without me being here or knowing. And just because you can't hear or understand what the fuck I'm saying is not my problem. So they went away, and I went to the office and talked with the new property manager. We've had like 10 of them in the 7 years I've been here, and he was a little resistant to me telling him, hey, your guy needs to give a little more time. Like, just because you knock on the door doesn't mean somebody might not be in there sleeping. And in case y'all didn't know, we live in Florida. We have castle doctrine. If they come through that door and I don't recognize who it is and I just react, something bad can happen. And that's all I expressed to him. Oh, well, they're supposed to wait 5 minutes. Well, he didn't. He waited like a minute and a half and came through that door. Now, if I'd have popped his ass, I'm just saying. So they said, all right, no problem. Just let us know if you don't want the pest control. I don't want the pest service because when they started doing this guy with the pest control, all of a sudden, now I got bugs. When I don't have the pest control, I don't have bugs. I keep a clean house. The fuck? Now they're telling me, oh, well, now you got to have. So these motherfuckers. Anyway. Where are we at in the markets? Guys, there's not a lot going on in the market right now, man. There's just not a lot going on in the market right now. Let's go back into the 5-minute. Still haven't set up a fair value gap going back the other way yet. Could be a range day. Could be bumping up to VWAP here. Let's see on the 3-minute chart. Nothing there. 2-minute chart. Nothing there. 1-minute chart. It's just chopping. Chopping, doing nothing. If there's no trade, there's no trade. And that's just the way it is. If there's no trade that I see for me, I don't trade. That's it. Let's see. My man Richie Hustle is over here trying to watch and open business credit. Oh, my God. Salute, brother. I got to talk to you. Anyway, what's going on with you guys out there, man? Anybody still with me? How's everybody doing? what I'm probably going to do with this channel is it's just going to be whatever's on my mind, whether it's rideshare. Because with the Tesla rideshare channel, I think I finally found the right niche for that channel. I think I finally found the right type of videos content that channel would favor, because there's a whole if you're in the Tesla world, in the Tesla space, there's a big thing about self-driving. And so the more I use the FSD, the more I begin to understand what it does and what it doesn't do. And I'm watching all of the FSD content out there, and I got to tell you, like this latest, greatest version, people are swearing by it, but from what I see, it might be a little better, incrementally better, but it's really not. There are certain things that the newest version 14.2.1 does that 12.6.4 doesn't, or 13.1.9, whatever the fuck it is, right? That stuff, my version doesn't do, that their version does do. And they're incrementally better. They still got a problem with flashing lights, whether it's fire stations or, after midnight traffic signals. Still got that problem. School zones are still an issue. So, outside of that, it's start and stop, right? With the newer versions, they give you a little button on the screen. You can hit the button and it'll start your trip. With my version, you got to be in drive and then slap it down and you'll start your trip that way. My version doesn't reverse. I don't think it does. You know what? I should try that today. I don't think it reverses. The newer versions you can start from a parking spot, reverse, it'll reverse out and go. All right, so here we go. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Is this a false breakout? Are we going to make this run? Let's see. How do I want to do this? Is this a false breakout? I might have to trade it over here, guys. I might have to trade it on this computer. Let's see what happens here. Is it going to make a run for this yellow box? That's the question. So there's the fair value gap. See if this is going to be a real breakout or a false breakout. Let's see what happens here. Just kind of get set up here to go. All right, this is going to be a real breakout. Is this a false breakout? Willing to risk 70 to make 233. The reason why I said I was going to go to the other chart on the other computer is because I can do a market order over there or a bid and buy ask, and I've already got it set up. It's just easier on the TraderVate than it is for me on TradingView. But on TradingView, I can set these things up. So let's see what the next candle comes up with. All right, there's the range. Bring that up. Bring this up to right there. See what it wants to do. Is it going to reject? Or is it a false breakout? Oh, see? We don't know. This could come all the way. Look here. You got buy side liquidity up here. So you got a bunch of orders. Wall Street subdued as traders wait Fed decision. When is that Fed decision? That's next week, isn't it? There it is. It's wicking in. Is it rejecting? You're going to buy it back up. Look at the big red candle here for that candle. And now volume's coming back in, but it's average volume. Well, above average volume for the day. See, this is the hardest part for me, is watching volume candles. Watching the volume for each candle. I need to say that right. See, it's still pushing up. This is going to break above that wick. Yep. No good. Broke above that wick. No good. Even if it comes down, because there was another fair value gap right here. See this? There's another fair value gap right here. But now it's breaking above. What I want to see is it going to reject here at this order block, bearish order block. Is that going to be the rejection? And then swing all the way down. I don't know. I told you I don't know what I'm doing. You see the thing down below there? See it right there? It says not financial advice, but you can have a coffee anyway. There you go. Almost done. I'm still here, brother, making my way home after my curry delivery. Bro, Thomas, I'm only here because of you this morning, bro. Nah, I'm here for everybody. All three of y'all. Oh, no, we got 5 watching. No, now we got 3 watching. Whatever. I'm here for all of you guys. Let's see. Yeah. So we're good. I want to see what this is going to do right here. Are we going to snap up, or is this going to reject right here and just come straight back down? If it does, we can play the range. We'll set this right at VWAP and bring this down. One contract, one micro contract. Let's see what happens. Is it going to reject here? It might. It might reject. Is it going to be exhausted? So we got one in here. A lot of times, once it clears out all of these cells, you'll start to see the price go up. But it's got to clear them all out. You can see here, bears tried to push it down. Bulls bought it right back up. Right? That was around the 519 level. But you see how it's getting right here? It's like bumping its head on a ceiling. So the question becomes, do we take the chance there? Because now you got a fair value gap built in right here. The battle begins. Uh, 15 seconds left on that candle. Let's see what happens. Oh, what does it look like on the 5? Still nothing on the 5. Still all of these big wicks. All of these big wicks, shoving it back down, shoving it back down, shoving it back down. Sellers in control for now. Oh, anyway, what time is it? It's 10:31, y'all. We have been on for an hour, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Let's see what happens here. I'd like to get a trade in for you guys, but it doesn't always happen that way. Doesn't always happen that way. Remember, we're down $12 on the day. I knew today was going to be choppy. Even though we had this huge range, opening range, 100, what did we say, 150 points? 160 point range, 163 point range. Everything's hovering down here. It looks like the Bears or the Bulls are trying to push through there. They are trying. Got to give them credit. But when you look on the bigger thing, on the bigger time frame, here's the 5-minute chart. It's rejecting right there. See, it is rejecting. It's an undecided doji right now. Hasn't figured out what it wants to do yet. Go to the 15-minute chart. Again, here, fair value gap. Has not pierced into or mitigated this fair value gap yet. So this could jump up in here if we stayed on the 15-minute chart and played for a longer game. It could come up here. We don't know. 5, still sitting there. Get about 20 points out of this if I take the trade right now. Can I get 20 points? See, it wants to roll over. Still's got that fair value gap there. Market structure shift right here, which it has not broken through yet. Trading is weird, man. It's hard. It's your best guess based on the information in front of you. Kind of like playing poker. You're with technical analysis, you're reading what's happened in the past to try to make a decision what's going out and what's coming. Right? Same thing with poker. You're paying attention to all the players at the table. You're reading how they play, not what they play, but how they play. Because you can't see the cards, just like I can't see what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. It's the same shit. But poker is not gambling. Poker is an acquired skill set. So, and I used to play a lot of poker. I was okay. I wasn't great. I was a good amateur. I wasn't a great amateur. I was a good amateur. It's trying to break through this block. Here she goes. So that's done. That trade's dead. Back to the 5 minute. What do we got on the 5? Nothing breaking. Still got 46, 45 seconds. Looking like a doji. Looking like a doji. That's a chop day, y'all. Chop day, chop day. So now what I want to see, now what we'll try to go to is right here. 15-minute chart. 15-minute, see what happens here. Get up to VWAP and come down, because this could be a play. Right? So if we take this, go halfway up, which, let's see, 550, what did I say that was, 160, so 80 points, 630? So if we go 630, it's about half the range. Let's change that color. Let's change that to orange. Trade there, bring this down. I still like this all the way down to 420. This might be a trade I take. We'll see how it plays out, see how it develops. One contract, risk 44 to make 361. Let's see what happens. Anyway. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap the stream up. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. I got to do more live streams. I got to start making a video once a week. You guys let me know. Thomas, let me know. Richie, let me know. Traveler, whoever's here on the channel, I appreciate you being here. I could do a weekly video on this channel where I just do my recaps of my YouTube stuff, my Amazon stuff, my driving stuff, and my trading stuff, right? The channel has to shift from rideshare content, because rideshare is dying fast. None of us have gotten a raise. I've been doing this 10 years. None of us have gotten a raise ever. I dare one person to show me they got a raise. They're made more money since they started. I dare one person to show me that. Who got the fucking raise? Legit raise. There ain't one. There ain't one person. Not California with Prop 22, not Massachusetts, whatever their thing is. Seattle says they got a pay raise because they got unionized. Yeah, but how many drivers lost their job or aren't driving anymore? It's no pay raise. I ain't never got a fucking raise unless I moved up in platform. And if you're telling me I got to spend $70,000 to make more money just for 6 months later for the apps to come by and undercut my nuts anyway, it's not a raise, bro. It's not a raise. People are full of shit. Don't believe them people out there. They're full of shit. Anyway. All right, we're snapping into this. Thomas says, yeah, once a week is cool. All right, then that's what we'll do. We'll do a recap. I'll get something out tomorrow. I'll make a video tomorrow, recap for the week. Because the point of this channel now is going to be just to show people that you can. I'm going to show you guys on this channel how I'm getting myself off rideshare, which was my intent a while ago. But I've just been focused on other shit. So, all right, this is trying to get up here. Remember, I'm looking for it to get halfway up and reverse. I want to see it get here and then pop back down, because it's tough on a 15-minute chart. But if it can get here and pop back down, might take that trade. I don't know. If not, then that means it's coming back up to the top, and then we can go long. We'll find an entry to go long. And that's what I'll do. So if you want to learn about video stuff, you want to learn about YouTube, Amazon, if you want to follow me with my, my novice, don't know shit approach to trading, I can do 1 or 2 streams a week, I think. I have to find consistency on this channel. That's just the way it is. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. No raise at all. You ain't lying about that, Thomas. Appreciate y'all out there. I will see you. Stay safe. Make some money.